Come here. Come close. Come here. Come a little bit closer, man. Remember when we said that it's all gonna get worse? Well, it got worse. And guess what? It's still gonna get worse. The left's dangerous new obsession. I'm not even gonna say that next phrase right here. I'm not even gonna try it. But it's true. It's true. We've got a few videos to go over today. This is just one of two. I say few. Really, I mean a couple. But there's so many videos out there, man, talking about the same exact thing. And they're all right. They're all correct. I'm going to go ahead and give it a like, because I know that I'm going to agree.
If we have learned anything in the last 3 weeks, it is that we have an alarming assassination culture in our society.
Oh man, it's so bad. And it's going to get so much worse.
And yes, sorry, mainstream media, it is coming from one side.
Yep. And they want to act like it's both sides. And like, yes, there is some of it coming from the right. But like, the left keeps talking about one instance that nobody on the right's talking about. And it was where a guy basically stalked and ended the life of 2 girls. And like, they can't stop bringing it up. And the fact that they keep bringing it up in just that one instance, it shows me they have nothing. They have nothing. And nobody's going to talk about it. Nobody actually cares. Because that's one thing. We're having trouble keeping up with all the violence on the left right now. Because they keep crashing out. They keep lying. They keep being violent.
Because part of the country doesn't just hate us and hates our values, but they are actively wishing death upon us. And no,
True.
This is not some fringe ideology. This is even coming from Democrat politicians whose cries for murder and violence.
Hey, what's going on here? Yeah, this is the box I needed.
Upon their political opponents is being ignored or actively excused by their own political party. And I'm sure you can guess who they are actively blaming.
Yeah, and a lot of them are just straight up pushing for it. They don't care. Like anti-ICE zones in Chicago. Get the fuck out of here, man. What are we even doing?
For this type of rhetoric. Now, before we get into that important topic, I want to tell you guys that starting next week, we are going to have a new show schedule for The Brett Cooper Show. We'll be releasing episodes now Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So actually 4 days a week now, including that weekend release. I also want to send you guys over to brettcooper.com. Make sure you are signed up for the newsletter because we have some exciting announcements and updates that are coming. My team
Damn it. I guess I'm doing that real quick.
has been working super hard while I have been in the newborn blissful bubble trenches, whatever you want to call it. And so we are super excited to bring you all of those updates. Now, getting into this story, I want to bring it back to Charlie Kirk. Charlie was assassinated on September 10th. But what you might not know is that back in April, Charlie posted this tweet. He said, "Assassination culture is spreading on the left." 48% of liberals say that it would be at least somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk.
How about that?
55% said the same thing
Oh, I don't agree with violence unless it's somebody that I don't like.
about Donald Trump. In California, activists are naming ballot measures after Luigi Mangione. Now, you should also know that just a couple of weeks ago, Luigi Mangione's charges were dropped from a first-degree to a second-degree murder charge.
What?
And yes, people were celebrating and cheering in the streets. People were on camera talking.
I didn't even hear about that because there's so much crazy shit going on. What is going on, man?
About how they are in love with AI versions of Luigi. And
That's
again, this is a
insane.
man that shot a healthcare CEO, a husband, and a father in broad daylight. And they are celebrating this. Like, these are the types of people that Charlie is talking about here. The left is being whipped into a violent frenzy. Any setback, whether losing an election or losing a court case, justifies a maximally violent response. This is the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture, tolerating violence and mayhem for years on end. The cowardice of local prosecutors and school officials have turned the left into a ticking time bomb. Now,
Yeah, and also big corporations who, like, they really want to be on board with normal people, not even the right wing. They want to be on board with normal people. But they can't because the left keeps threatening violence against them and they don't want their staff to get hurt. They don't want the people that they love to get hurt. So they bend the knee, they bow down to the left and do as they say. Please don't hurt us. ABC, Disney.
Now, this tweet went viral quickly after Charlie's assassination for a really important reason, because reading this genuinely gives me chills, because Charlie was talking about the thing that would inevitably take his life. And this is just so heartbreaking to go back and read, because the ticking time bomb that he was talking about went off on September 10th, and it has not stopped. Because the last 3 weeks have been an incredibly disgusting, horrifying display of violence and this exact assassination culture that Charlie was tweeting about.
And it's just pulling me more and more out of society. The more this is allowed to go on, Trump isn't going hard enough, in my opinion. I think that he's too worried about the optics, and it's making the optics so much fucking worse.
Because within days of his assassination, a bomb was lit, but failed to go off under a Fox News van in Utah that was covering Charlie's assassination. And you can see that right here. 2 men have now been arrested for
I didn't
this.
even hear about that.
Just a couple days later, there was a bomb threat at RFK Jr.'s home. Just days later,
Didn't hear about that.
A 23-year-old man opened fire at a New Hampshire country club while screaming, "Free Palestine."
Didn't hear about that.
Of course, they're still saying that there is no political motive. They have no idea.
You know why I didn't hear about these things? Because I've heard of so many other things happening that's fucking insane. That there's so much happening that I'm missing stuff.
Why he would have done this, I'm sorry. The political motive is right there. Eyewitnesses have given you that motive. Now, just a couple days later, after that, again, we just have bing, bang, boom right after each other. A man shot into a local ABC News
Heard about
building,
that one.
allegedly in protest of Kimmel being taken off the air. And he left a note.
Yeah, that's insane, because if you check out what the news media is talking about Kimmel right now, it's that his numbers are way, way down.
Note warning that Trump officials would be next. This is all within 10 days of Charlie's assassination. Then just 2 days after that, another man shot into an ICE facility in Dallas.
You know why the ABC thing happened? Because the news media was making it out like Trump was out to get them. I almost said us. Out to get them. I should be saying us because I'm supposed to be on the left. But you're all fucking retarded.
Dallas, killing 2 detainees, although officials have said that he was probably aiming at ICE officials, considering that the bullets he left on the scene after killing himself were engraved with anti-ICE. Just take a listen to this video.
Early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
And then here are the bullets in question. This was posted by Cash.
Yeah, when you say that ICE is a threat to the nation, people are going to take that to heart, and they're going to commit acts of violence. And the media knows this. You know who controls the media, by the way? Do you know who controls the media? International investment firms who really want America to fail so that they can buy up everything and own everything. They don't want just 10% of the companies. They want 100%.
Patel quickly after the event took place.
BlackRock, Vanguard, RTX, aka Raytheon, but they just changed their name.
Now, that was not the only attack on ICE officials, because just this weekend, DHS agents patrolling in Chicago were ambushed and boxed in by 10 different cars, with one of the attackers holding up a semi-automatic weapon. Now, the agents obviously opened fire because they were being ambushed.
I didn't know that they were holding a weapon. Nobody ever said that. They just acted like that Trump's ICE, Trump's police shot this person for no reason.
Out to be attacked, and one of the drivers who was ambushing them was shot. And of course, this is how the mainstream media is covering it. If you Google this story, it says Border Patrol agents shoot armed woman. Federal agents shoot woman in Chicago neighborhood. Protester shot in Chicago. So that's the story that you're running with. The DHS agents are just open firing into crowds of people. No, they were being ambushed. And I just want to say, with how awful the news is right now, with everything that we have seen and witnessed over the last 3 weeks, it is more important than ever, in my opinion, to focus on
all these people, all these organizations that are saying this. Lock them the fuck up. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it, man. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Shut them down. Shut them. We cannot exist as a country with this.
on your family and your communities, and Good Ranchers wants to help you do that. This fall, Good Ranchers is challenging America to come back to the dinner table. Every Thursday through Thanksgiving, Good Ranchers wants you to take a pause and share a meal with the people that you love. And here's the best part.
Good Ranchers, you get his food, eat it,
more
and buy it and eat it and use her
what
thing.
what is causing meat for the life of your subscription. And you might be thinking, okay, well, what is causing all of this violence? It is the rhetoric from activists and politicians on the left. It is
and news media. They know what they're doing. They're evil fucking liars.
people saying that we are fascists. It's people calling us Nazis. It's saying that we need to be eradicated.
A threat to democracy and the nation and the American people. The American people are a threat to the American people is literally what they're fucking going with.
Because of our beliefs. So after years and years...
Not even because of our beliefs. Because we know what's right and what's true. And they are literally the opposite of that.
Of that kind of dialogue, of that kind of violent name-calling, no wonder this is happening.
Yeah, they want to be able to do whatever they want, anytime they want, including violence and sexual degeneracy in the streets, involving children.
Genuinely. It is not surprising. But what is possibly even more alarming is that this type of violence, this rhetoric, this behavior is, again, like I said, not just coming from fringe protesters or angry basement dwellers who post on Blue Sky about hating right-wingers. No, it is coming from mainstream Democratic politicians, people who are propped up and supported by the Democrat Party. And that is what we saw take place this weekend in Virginia. The Democrat candidate for Attorney General in Virginia, whose name is Jay Jones, has been exposed as of this weekend for texts where he wished death.
Yep. Fuck them. Democrats, terrorist organization.
Upon the former Virginia GOP House.
Like Antifa, yeah, definitely a terrorist organization. At this point, Democrats are Antifa. They said it. They've been saying it. I'm Antifa. They are a terrorist organization.
Speaker Todd Gilbert and his family. Now, all of this took place back in 2022, but because of the events of the last 3 weeks, I think that these texts are incredibly relevant. And obviously the media thought so as well, because this is what Jay Jones was saying about his opponent. He was texting a colleague of his who was also a Republican, and he said, if those guys die before me, he's talking about conservatives.
I saw this.
I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves. Send them out awash in something. And his friend responds and says, Jay Jones. And he said, 3 people, 2 bullets.
Yeah, probably saying like, oh, Jay Jones.
Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the...
They're saying we're worse than Hitler. Like, if it was down to the choice of getting rid of Hitler or us, they'd let Hitler live.
2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. Now his friend responds and says, Jay, please stop. And he goes, LOL. Okay.
By the way, doesn't stop.
His friend responds and says, it really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death upon them. Now, allegedly, as the story goes, this friend then called Jay to talk about this conversation. And on that phone call, Jay dug his heels in even more. He was not joking about any of this. He then said on the phone that he wished Todd's wife, Jennifer, would watch their children die in her arms so that Todd would change his opinion on policy. When they got off the phone, when he was pushed on this via text again, this is...
Yeah, because they say, well, they're never going to change unless they see what they've been doing to us happen to them. Even though what they are talking about is not even fucking happening. They're killing us. That's not even happening. How would you like it? That's the only way that they can change their mind and get on our side. If they see their children die in front of them, I hope it happens, is what they're saying.
Is how he responded. His friend said, you weren't simply asking questions and you know it. And he said, I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. He said, you weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. And he said, yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. So he is saying this man's children, his family, deserves to die.
This is what happens when you let them intimidate you with violence and then people bend the knee. This is like ABC. They're going to get more and more violence toward them as long as they push back against the left. So they won't. They aren't going to push back against the left. They're going to join the terrorists because they're scared.
Because that is the only way that he will change his opinions to mirror mine. And at the end of the day, me, Jay Jones, that is all I care about. But he doesn't stop there. The texts continue. And he said, I asked you point blank more than 3 times and you dug in that you meant it. I am honestly questioning a lot today. And Jay responds and says, I mean, do I think that Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. So because Jay Jones disagrees with his political opponent, the former GOP House Speaker of Virginia, this man's innocent children who are under the age of 10 or were under the age of 10 at the time, they deserve to die. To send a message to a father that Jay Jones disagrees with. Now, obviously, everything that we just read is disgusting enough as it is. That is horrifying, but also...
Whoa. Are you about to tell me it gets worse? Are you about to tell me it gets worse, Brett? No, it couldn't be.
I say that it's horrifying, and yet we live in a world where I see this type of rhetoric every single day online, as I am sure that you do. And that's disgusting. But what is even more disgusting, what is even more reprehensible, is that Jay Jones and the Democrats have now responded in the most insane way possible. I mean, all of this is just a complete disregard for human life. Now, thankfully, my friends over at Preborn actually value and work to protect life by providing
whatever that is.
More room at home could possibly save a life. And if you decided to keep your children and you need a little bit more room at home, then you should call my friends over at Fellowship Home Loans, who are making home ownership a reality. And I get it, that and it often feels like
that sounds cool.
Like make homeowners some of their are cursing. Nation's numbers, he apparently called 89382. Now, Jay Jones, to his credit, he did apologize. He apparently called the Gilberts and took accountability.
Apology isn't enough. Apology at this point. Apology is not enough. Put these people in jail and maybe they'll fucking learn. You want to be violent? We're going to lock you in a box so you can't be.
For these horrifying texts that he sent in 2022, but immediately after his quote-unquote apology...
Yeah, I forgive you, but I'm not going to forget what you said, and I'm not going to immediately think that you've turned around on it. No, they're just saying that so they don't get in trouble in the public space. Lock them up. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it.
He blame shifted.
It's disgusting.
And started talking about Trump and the Trump-controlled media.
Exactly what I'm talking about. They will never fucking learn until you start doing something about it. Apologies are not enough because they don't mean it.
Media and his Republican opponent, who is currently running against him for Virginia AG. And in his statement after his quote-unquote apology, he said, like all people, I've sent text messages that I regret. Okay, well, no, I actually don't think that all of us...
Yeah, I don't. I don't have any text messages that I regret. The fuck are you talking about? I don't say violent shit about people online because I'm not a violent person. Get real, man. They can't. They are stuck outside of reality. Or maybe they're stuck in reality and reality is just retarded. I don't know. This world sucks, man.
Have sent texts wishing death upon people we disagree with. I think that that actually might be something that is unique to you, Jay Jones. He goes on and says, I believe that violent rhetoric has no place in our politics. I mean, I'm laughing because that is so insane based on what we just read. Obviously, you don't believe that, Jay Jones. Obviously. So why are you even pretending? But it gets better. He said, let's be clear about what is happening in the Attorney General race right now. Jason Miyares, who is the incumbent who is running against Jay Jones, is dropping smears through Trump-controlled media organizations to assault my character. And
yeah, you see the words that they use? Assault my character and rescue his desperate campaign.
He's dropping smears. I'm sorry, I would think that smears are lies and slander. Using your own words against you? Sorry, I think that's just honest. I think that's fair game at this point. You acknowledge that you sent those texts, releasing those to the public, allowing the public to understand.
Lock them up. Fucking lock them up. Fucking lock them up. I don't know what else to say.
Who they could possibly be voting for. It's not smears. That's just good journalism. That's
like, I don't want any harm to come to these people that are like this. I don't want to do the things that they are doing. Just lock them up. And then we don't have to deal with them. They're not going to be violent to us. We're not going to be violent to them. We will just use the government's monopoly on violence to put them in a box.
just putting everything out for people to assess their options, to assess their choices, Jay. He goes on and he says, this is a strategy that ensures that Jason will continue to be accountable to Donald Trump, not the people of Virginia. This race is about whether Trump can control Virginia or Virginians control Virginia. How did you even get to this point? Do you think that Donald Trump is calling up Jason saying, you need to come up with some texts, you need to find some dirt? I don't think that Trump knew about these texts. You did this all on your own, buddy. By wishing death against your political opponent, you put yourself in this situation. This is not Trump's fault. Trump cannot be the scapegoat to every single one of your issues. Trump cannot be the scapegoat to every single problem that our society is facing. The moral problems that our society is facing. And you're saying, what this race in Virginia is actually about. I actually agree that it's not just about Attorney General. I actually think that this race in Virginia is now about good versus evil, especially when you're...
The whole fucking thing is, it's all good versus evil, and it's getting even more obvious every day who is who.
Party, the Democrats, are still fully behind you. This is the statement that the Virginia Beach Democrats put out in support of Jay Jones after these texts came out. They said, we reaffirm our full support of Jay Jones for Attorney General. We are lined up, 10 toes down.
Lock him up, shut it down.
Ready to organize, mobilize, and deliver votes for Jay in our entire Democratic ticket. Recent press may have spotlighted past mistakes, possibly. We say, let those without sin cast the first stone. Okay, so now you care about God. Now you care about Christ and what the Bible...
Yeah, that's funny. Dude, I just lost my best friend yesterday because of stupid shit like this. Like I said, I wasn't even talking to him. I said that if you pay for pedo services, then you are a pedo supporter. And he just immediately went defense mode like, fuck you, I'm not a pedo. Call me a pedo. I'm still gonna watch my anime. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I cut him off. Best friend for years and years. I cut him off. No fucking way. And he tried to use the fact that I'm a Christian against me, saying that I sin, so I'm just as bad. And I was just like, you're not a Christian. You have no right to tell me these things when you are actively supporting pedophiles. And he straight up said, fuck you, call me a pedophile. I'm still paying for the anime. Are you kidding me? I'm done with it. I am done with all of it.
Says, great, thank you, Democrats. Jay Jones has taken responsibility, apologized, and shown that he is committed to serving with integrity and accountability that his public record already shows. Virginians deserve a leader who learns, grows, and stands for everyday people, and Jay is that leader. Now, what is even more hysterical about this entire situation is that Jay Jones was arrested a few years ago for reckless driving. And instead of being put in prison, instead of going to jail for this reckless driving, he was given, I believe it was 500 plus hours of community service, and he did over half of those hours working at his own PAC for his own campaign. And this is a man that is running for Attorney General, the highest law enforcement individual.
Yeah, and I was playing Pokemon Go in the middle of the night at a library with a cop. There was a cop next to me. He left. Another cop pulled up and arrested me for trespassing. All these people can go fuck themselves.
In the state, it's laughable. Every single part of the situation is so disgustingly laughable.
That literally happened. Exactly like that. To a fucking T.
And then goes on and says, Jay Jones is a stark contrast
But
to
these
Jason.
people, they don't get arrested. No, they don't get arrested for doing the most heinous shit.
Miaras in every way. In his tenure, Jason has failed to stand up for Virginia families' concerns or values. He has not defended women's reproductive rights, workers' rights, or protected the hundreds of thousands of Virginians who are on the verge of losing access to their healthcare benefits and service providers. Well, you know what? Jason also didn't wish death upon his political opponent. So I think he has that above Jay Jones. Guys, this is the vile and soulless behavior that is making up the modern Democratic Party. And at this point, turning a blind eye is unfortunately expected from the party whose voters have cheered and supported such violence, who went on TikTok and X and Blue Sky and Instagram and Facebook and cheered in celebration at the assassination of Charlie Kirk, a good man who truly just wanted to unite America, who truly, in every single one of his debates, sought to understand his opponent, sought to find a place where they would agree, who wanted the best for every single person that he interacted with, even if he knew that you hated him, even if you vehemently disagreed with every single one of his values, he wanted the best for you. And they cheered for this man's murder. So no, I'm not surprised that Virginia's Democratic Party is turning a blind eye. Now, I also want to say that I don't think this kind of rhetoric or violence is accidental right now. I'm not saying that everything that we've seen over the last 3 weeks is completely coordinated, but I do think that there is an intentional attempt to...
Yeah, I don't think it's coordinated exactly, but I think because everybody over there feels it, that it just happens naturally to be like this.
Breed chaos and division under the Trump administration, and that the Democrats are using this to go against Trump so that they can turn around and say, actually, kind of like Jay Jones did, actually, this is all Trump's fault. This is why Trump needs to be out of office. This is why conservatives are so awful, because this is happening under the Trump administration, which is already being said by people like Destiny. And you guys know how I feel about the streamer Destiny, but let's just listen to what he said on a recent appearance on Piers Morgan's show.
I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side.
We need to turn the temperature down. I'm not a conservative. Yeah, no, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm a conservative. Right now, I'm saying it. I am a conservative. Fuck these people.
We are
I'm
10
out.
years
I am
into
out. I'm
whatever
done.
this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
Excuse me? Lock him up. Lock him the fuck up. I'm done with it. It's so fucking disgusting and evil. Just, I hate these people, man. I try not to be. I am a Christian. I don't want to be angry. I'm really working hard on it. I'm not like constantly angry like I used to be. I just, get into spikes and then I come back down. But like, dude, holy shit. The only reason we're here is because nothing is being done. And it's been like this for years. It's just been getting worse and worse and worse, where the right just doesn't do anything. The left goes insane, and they keep going insane more and more and more and more. And the right's like, they're going insane, we have to do something. But let's see if it gets worse first. And then it gets worse, and then they're like, well, it's not as bad as it could be. I'm just going to sit on my hands. And even when they're like, this is the worst it's ever been, but they're still American citizens.
Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump.
So it's all Trump's fault. Every part of this is Trump's fault. But of course, it's not the actions of conservatives.
Well, if you didn't want violent things to happen to you, maybe Trump shouldn't be president. What the fuck, man?
Conservatives are not the ones that are shooting ICE officials. Conservatives are not the ones who are wishing death upon our political opponents.
Well, Brett, you forget the fact that Trump is president.
Conservatives are not the ones that are shooting up country clubs, that are setting governors' homes on fire while their children are inside. We're not doing that. That is the left. You cannot blame that on Donald Trump. I mean, Destiny, truly, like, I didn't believe that you could stoop any lower, and yet you did. Like, Trump is not responsible for the mental illness and the rhetoric of extremists in your political party. Trump is not responsible for your inability to have civil disagreements, to understand that you live in a country where sometimes people are not going to agree with every single one of your values, and that sometimes a different political party is going to be in power, and you have to learn how to cope with that. Like, that is not Trump's fault. That is on the left, and I'm sorry, but we will never be like you.
Oof.
If you made it all the way to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. And if you're in the mood...
Yeah, I've got one more, man. Ooh, I got one more that just happened. John Oliver praises terrorism against ICE in shocking show. Okay.
No, I'm done playing games.
Me too.
I'm done playing games. I'm not going to be nice. John Oliver has this...
Yeah, I'm done with it, man. I'm fucking done. Fuck him.
...video where he talks about ICE in Chicago and how people...
A British man, by the way. British.
People slashed the tires or deflated the tires of these ICE vehicles, and he praises them. Okay? This is terror. This is a coordinated campaign that's been going on for some time. And when you're in a context of ICE officers being rammed in Chicago, nearly being killed, you've got 3 attacks on ICE facilities. You do not go on TV and say, "Great job, everyone," when he highlights the vandalism against ICE. Now, of course,
Good job, we're doing it, guys! We're making them feel the pain, and maybe they'll turn to our side.
you may be saying, and the liberals are going to say this, it's just all they do was deflate tires. Who cares? A society that venerates acts of violence to any capacity is a society that is opening its doors to civil war. Now, we've seen this with the assassination culture, but now we're looking at this video of John Oliver when he praises on TV like any degree of an attack on ICE. You're going to get it. You're going to get more.
Yep.
He is telling these liberals, you have permission. He is saying, we will celebrate your actions on TV, which is shocking. About 13 years ago, 14 years ago, actually, I was at Occupy Wall Street. Several of these crazy leftists were deflating police tires, and I was filming, and they happened to get caught in the camera. I wasn't intentionally filming them, and they attacked me for it. Everyone was outraged. Everyone. I ended up doing a bunch of interviews. They were like, what are these people doing? The left, the right, they were like, look at these vandals. And I got a lot of attention because I stood my ground. And I said, I am going to show people what's going on. And if this is what you are doing, I will show them this is what you're doing. You are not the bastions of good morals and ethics. So I can't say that I'm surprised to see this degree of, I guess, insurrection. I'm going to play the video.
Yeah, Trump needs to do that insurrection act, man, because like there's actively crime going on everywhere and nothing is being done about it.
Oh, here's John Oliver.
Some men working on a roof and were waiting for them to come down to arrest them. But a local pastor went on social media to summon people to protest, and just watch what happened next.
I don't think pastors are supposed to be doing that.
A chaotic scene on Westminster Road Tuesday morning in Rochester.
Okay, I was wrong. This is not Chicago. This is Rochester.
As federal agents were carrying out...
So it's not Chicago. That just means it's happening in another fucking city. It's everywhere.
An ICE enforcement and removal operation.
They're here putting on a roof, trying to make $1 and paying taxes on that dollar.
You don't know that.
And ICE was here bothering them. So I came to bother ICE.
Details from federal authorities are limited, but our cameras captured a Border Patrol vehicle at the scene.
Yeah, they're actively trying to take over our fucking country. They're trying to push us out, and they will kill us. When they take over, they will kill us all. And I think it's going to happen. And I'm ready for it, man. Go ahead. I will go kicking and screaming. And I will be citing the word of my Lord.
With flat tires. In response to the large crowd, agents left Westminster and the SUV was towed a few blocks away.
Perfect. Well done to everyone involved.
Okay. All right. Lock him up. Arrest this stupid fuck. This disgusting, evil degenerate.
And I absolutely love that woman said, I came to bother ICE. Because that seems reasonable to me. If ICE can show up and bother some guys at their roofing job, then...
Illegal immigrants. I don't give a fuck. Arrest them all. Why? Why are they not arrested? Their tires got inflated. Break up the protest. Arrest everybody who doesn't want to.
Bystanders should be able to bother ICE at their state-sanctioned kidnapping job. It is only fair.
Wow. State-sanctioned kidnapping job. Now, I don't know the full details on what exactly happened with these guys on the roof.
They really, really want the right to be fascist. Well, you're creating the fucking fascists, man. And we're not fascists to each other. We're fascist toward you because you keep crashing out in public and being violent. And I'm ready. I'm ready. I've already fully embraced that they're going to call me a Nazi, a fascist, a bigot, a misogynist, a transphobe, a homophobe. Go fuck yourself. Call me anything you want.
And I don't rightly care. If these guys are working on a roof and ICE pulls up, what's the issue? I'm working, and you just do your job. And then when you come down and they say, how's it going?
Yeah, if ICE pulls up and they're like, oh no, then investigate them and fucking arrest them if they're illegal. If they're Americans, they shouldn't have anything to worry about.
You say, how's it going? And if they ask for your ID, you say, you can make a couple of choices. Look, I don't have to give you my ID, and you have no reason to detain me. And then maybe you show them ID. Or, actually, maybe these guys are illegal immigrants. Maybe they entered our country.
No, they couldn't be. They're Americans. Even illegal immigrants, they're in America. They have the right to be here too, Tim. Even though we don't know who they are, we don't know what kind of people they are. We don't know what crimes they've committed or will commit. We don't know how many of them there are. And if we start getting millions upon millions upon millions, and even, I'd hate to say it, maybe even billions of people flooding into the country that we don't know from different cultures who hate us, they're going to take over. And it's going to be chaos, and it's going to be violence. And they are going to destroy everything that we built and everything that we love and everyone that we love, and they're going to kill us.
Illegally and are in violation of our laws as voted upon, signed, and put into place, because that's how a democracy is supposed to work, right, Democrats? John Oliver said,
literally everything that they say is a lie, and when they say anything about democracy, it's a fucking lie.
Well done to everyone involved. Man.
Lock him up.
So, do you understand where this is all going? Where we are going to end up when you have these people celebrating attacks on ICE? Now, I understand these liberals are going to respond with, and I don't care to convince them. They're going to say all they did was deflate the tires and they tow the vehicle out, obstructing law enforcement that we voted for as the American people. And you've got...
Yeah, and if you let them do it, you know what's going to happen next? They're going to start firebombing the vehicles. That's what happens whenever you let violent people be violent. They're like, oh shit, it works, but things are getting worse. So we're going to have to start killing people. What the fuck are we doing?
Tons of new polling coming out showing that this is a very popular issue. National Guard, not so much. That's 50-50. But ICE deporting illegal aliens, massively popular. Some 78% support. So when they obstruct that, that's not democracy. That's authoritarianism.
How many times am I going to say lock them up in this video? Let's somebody tell me how many times have I said lock them up?
That's the use of force to manufacture a world nobody wants, or just you, the fringe psychopaths. And John Oliver said, well done to everyone.
At this point, it's not even fringe. At this point, it is a double-digit number.
One involved.
Double-digit percentage.
I think there is a fine line. And I think what John Oliver did is worse than what Jimmy Kimmel did. Jimmy Kimmel trying to insinuate that Charlie Kirk's assassin was MAGA is very, very bad. But it's a business thing. John Oliver's well done to everyone involved is almost in criminal territory.
I'd say it is. No, I'd say it is, Tim. Because he knows what he's doing. He is literally saying, we want more of this. We want more violence.
And I don't care what liberals are going to say. You cannot go on TV and say, you go do crime. A specific crime. You can't do that. Now, John Oliver did not do that. That's why I said it's almost, because he showed the crime and then said, well done. Okay. I'm done trying to have these conversations to convince these liberals, because it's a cult. It is a cult. And, one could talk about the Q or MAGA cult or whatever, and there certainly are culty elements on Trump's side, but they're always culty zealots of every ideology. The right, however, is not a cult, as evidenced by all of the former liberals who voted for Donald Trump. The fact that all these middle-of-the-road comedians voted for Trump or supported Trump. And the fact the left is getting increasingly violent. Check this out. Chicago police sources blast department's response after officers were told not to help federal agents.
Wow.
Cover their ass. This is where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Post. Wild.
Yeah, all of the good cops were either fired or quit during COVID, and all we got left are the violent freaks who are going to do anything that the left says.
Video shows unhinged driver slam into ICE vehicle in Chicago. Did you see this one?
Yep.
Let's see if we can actually get this thing to play. Look at this. This is just one of 2 attacks that took place. I don't know if they have audio on this one. Sounds like they do. Not real audio.
That's insane.
Plowing into the truck during heavy traffic. The black SUV chased and slammed into it again, prompting federal agents to draw their weapons. The attack comes amid escalating violence against federal officers, with DHS branding recent suspects.
And if you don't start locking these people up, it's going to get worse. Trump needs to do more. Or are they literally waiting for something incredibly fucking bad, one of the worst things to happen ever? Are we waiting for that? Is that what we're waiting for? And are we going to create an unwilling martyr?
Domestic terrorists. Okay, let's put this into context. I'm not playing these games. You've got car rammings against ICE. You've got ICE officers being shot and shot at just recently. And John Oliver is celebrating that people vandalized a DHS vehicle.
And I guarantee you, that's just lukewarm. Behind the scenes, he's cheering for the violence.
There's only one place this goes. Mainstream television, laughing and cheering, and people are clapping, just like we saw with the Tesla terror attacks. Calling for more violence.
It's freedom of speech. What do you do? What else would you do when your democracy is compromised? When the right wing wants you dead, what do? You have to commit acts of terror. Absolutely disgusting.
So what comes next? Well, some have said denaturalization.
American jihadists, that's what's next. They're going to be full-on terrorists, and they're not even going to deny it.
Naturalize and deport John Oliver.
True.
Because he is British, and he came here and got a citizenship and all that, and it can be revoked, and that's it.
Yeah, put him in prison. Yeah, don't deport him. Don't allow him to speak anymore if he's going to be violent. Because he's going to go over to the UK, and he's going to speak violence about the United States even more, because he's going to have the freedom of being in another country, and they're not going to do anything about it because they hate the United States too. They hate Trump just as much as the left over here does. But they have the freedom to say it because they're not here. No, lock them up.
Interesting. Naturalized citizens can have citizenship revoked. It's in the law, the state.
No, yeah, I don't even care. Lock them up and revoke it. Send all these people to Venezuela.
Department can make this determination. Now they will get to go to a court hearing and have these things challenged, and and all that. But naturally born Americans can't. So it's interesting. That means that naturalized citizens will always be second class to some degree. I don't know that we should denaturalize and deport John Oliver, but I believe there should.
No, we shouldn't. We should definitely put him in fucking prison.
Be some action taken. They're going to make the argument that it's his free speech. I make the argument it's incitement to violence.
Yep, violence is not free speech. Go fuck yourself.
I'd say, listen, the threshold for speech is...
Not Tim, go fuck yourself. I'm saying John Oliver, go fuck yourself. Tim is 1,000% correct.
You cannot create a clear and imminent threat, which John Oliver is not doing. That being said, with the context right now of terror attacks all across the country, there needs to be some kind of penalty for what John Oliver is doing. Otherwise, it will get worse. But you know what? I've said it a million times in the past week or so. You know, when...
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything about any of this except for talk about it. Oh, man, if it gets worse, it gets worse, man. And the more it gets worse, the more I'm going to be out of society, and you'll never fucking find me. But I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to shut up until they literally fucking kill me.
Dana White said that, people shouldn't lose their jobs over Charlie Kirk comments.
They should. Actually, I think they should be put in prison if they are cheering for violence.
My response is, okay, you're allowed to have that opinion. Are you sure this is the path you would like to go down? You're allowed to say yes. I'm not telling you you're wrong. When you tell me that it is, I will simply tell you what this will beget. When John Oliver can go on TV and they clap and cheer for obstructing law enforcement, you are going to see an escalation. You are telling leftists and liberals there is a public reward for doing these things.
Yeah, you'll be talked about in the media and you'll be hailed as a hero for committing acts of violence, like the freaks in Batman who follow the Joker. Oh, the Joker's actually the good guy. Batman's the bad guy.
Instead of disdain and being ostracized. John Oliver, his audience, which they're told to clap, and himself saying, well done to everyone involved. What did he actually say?
He said, commit more violence. That's what he said.
He said to the left, you go out and do this next, and we will clap for you.
Do more. Do more. Get worse.
It'll feel real good. We had a show once on Timcast IRL where
you'll get famous, and if they do happen to put you in jail or put you in the hospital or something, or you end up dead, there'll be a GoFundMe and you'll get rich.
Someone was making a point about what the left believes about Trump. And he said, the left thinks, and I'm not going to repeat the quote, Donald Trump is bad thing, therefore people should. And I said, you can't say that. Like, we ended up taking the show down. It was an explicit call for violence. And this individual said, oh, no, I was just explaining what the left thinks. And I said, and
yeah, it doesn't matter because the censors pick it up. The AI picks it up and they're like, oh, you said it. I'm actually worried about this episode that I'm posting because I said some things that the left say and the AI might pick it up as if I'm saying it. That's why I have I have a strike against my channel right now because I repeated something that Hassan Piker said and said that Hassan Piker said it. And I tried to appeal it and they were like, nope, you said a violent thing. You said hate speech. I was like, I'm not the one who said it. It was Hassan Piker and I was reporting on it.
The leftist who watches the show, because they do, not a lot, but many do, heard you say, leftists who believe this should do this. And he said, yes, but I was only explaining that's what they think. And I had to explain to him again, yes, but this means you are telling the leftists, even as a conservative, you could be a monk, you could be a moon man for all that matters. If you looked to an individual who played football and said, all footballers think you should go for the field goal, they're going to go, really? Okay, and then go for the field goal. So what do you think happens when you go, all of these leftists, they say, Donald Trump is this, and if Donald Trump is this, you must do that. The leftists go, oh, okay. So I say no to that on Timcast IRL. Do not make allusions to violence. John Oliver is doing just that without penalty. YouTube should take his video down.
Yeah, I'm not going to censor myself just because some violent freak is going to take what I said and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. Nope. I'm not going to bow down. I'm not going to bend my knee because violent freaks want to be violent. It's not my fucking fault they take it and run with it. I understand Tim feels like he has a responsibility, but I'm not doing that. If violent people are going to be violent, lock them up. And if they are an actual threat, to people's lives and safety,
and issue a warning saying
legally
we can't tolerate that. Well done to people who obstructed and vandalized law enforcement vehicles. Dark days indeed. I'm going to leave it there. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone. Stay tuned. We got more coming up for you.
Dude, I'm done. I am so done, man. Y'all can have your Civil War. I'm out.